Hey, what's up, Launchpad and Launchpad parents? I just wanted to do a quick overview. I think I sent out that video the other day and I don't think it worked. So I'm gonna, and I think it might have been too big. So I'm gonna just go super bullet point here and just kind of make it kind of point by point, and hopefully this helps. So what I want to do is essentially just give you a couple of the different sections of the day that happen throughout the week. I just want to make sure parents have a clear understanding of all of the things that are going on with Launchpad, and then how you can really support the heroes there. I really want you guys to be able to understand how to best support them, and I think that'll get them the nudge that I think they need. So obviously we got morning meetings that take place. Those morning meetings can have anything from a TED Talk to an entrepreneur to Socratic discussions to power hours to town hall. So TED Talk, obviously it's the ideas worth sharing, and we have conversations around that. The entrepreneurs that come in, really twofold. One, see the patterns of success and start to hear from people who have gone before you in various industries and get those patterns. But two, see if there's anybody, because they're all coming from these different industries, that you would be interested in connecting with further. Is there somebody that comes in that you'd be interested in chatting with further as a mentor? Is there somebody that comes in that you'd be interested in connecting with for an internship or apprenticeship as well? So that's the purpose of the entrepreneurs that are coming in. Socratics, obviously we've shifted to where the students are able to lead those. It's infinitely more difficult to lead one than it is to just participate in one, and so they're getting that experience on that. Power Hour, again, gives students the chance to lead everybody else in something that they are excited about, so something that they're interested in, they get to lead them in that. And then the town hall is where they get to come together and do kind of the rules. They get to kind of choose what kind of systems are working, what kind of systems are not. So I know sometimes things go home where people are upset about certain systems that are in place, card systems, accountability systems, whatever that looks like. But I just want you to, as a parent, to understand that the students have voted on those systems, and so that the best way they can change those, if a student is not excited about it, is to explain that they want to change those and figure out options and figure out alternatives. And so we just help facilitate the conversations there where they're actually making the decisions as a group. These aren't top-down edicts that are taking place. The card system, the phones, the rules around the phones, all of those things have been chosen, discussed, and implemented by the students themselves. So, and then there's core time. What I would do if I was a Launchpad student, and this is what I would encourage you to encourage your Launchpadder around, is to take advantage of the over probably 150 individual projects that we have that can take the place of just traditional classes. The students are more than welcome to do traditional classes, and that's fine, and we can build goals around that, and those goals should be going home to you guys every week. And that's one thing that we ask, is make sure those goals are coming home. And if you're not excited about those goals, then help us by having the conversation with them around bumping the goals up. We can have those conversations all day long, but we're also not going to mandate. We're not going to be the top down. We're there to help and be on the side and be the mentors and the guides through. So if you need them to step it up, let them know you need them to step it up. But the traditional classes are not the only route. When I say we've got probably 150 Launchpad related projects, we have probably 150 Launchpad related projects. Your Launchpadders know that. Your Launchpadders know that there's 30 or 40 on the corkboard at any given time, and that they can come sit down with myself or Krista or both and walk through a number of these projects and what those look like. So if I was in Launchpad, I would literally be taking all of my core time to collect as many of these projects as I can and take on as many as I can. And they're laid out from point A to point Z, every check-in along the way, everything that you need to do, and in every kind of quote-unquote subject or discipline you can think of. So I would encourage them to take on more of those. We're encouraging them, and we have very few, because they do require, here's the secret, a lot of work. And so we have people that I think are intimidated by it, and we just are consistently reminding them, look, we will walk you through each step. We will be there. We're not going to tell you what to do, but we're going to explain it if you're confused, and we're going to be there with you to say, look, here's some ideas. What about this? What about this? And come out the other side of that experience. I would do that if I was a Launchpadder. I would try to get through as many of those as I could every year with high quality work. So I would encourage that. If you're a Launchpad parent, I would encourage you to encourage the launchpadder to take on more of those. Quests as well. That's where we are collaborating together in those projects. That is the area we get the biggest amount of pushback. And the pushback that we get from the students is, that's too much work. You're expecting too much of us. We need to eliminate that altogether, or we need to modify that. Those are the conversations. That's the pushback that we get from a lot of the kids. So again, as a Launchpad parent, what would really help is if you guys just encourage them to take those on, and it's let them know that it's okay if the final result does not look exactly like what they thought it should, and they feel like they didn't quite get it. It's the experience, it's actually tackling it, but we still have some fear there. They're too afraid to start and looking for all the reasons why something won't work versus why it will. So if you guys could help us on that, that would be great too. Writers workshops are obviously a part of it. Resumes, writing ad copies, book reviews. We've got over 100 recommended books that we would love for the kids to jump on. Audiobook is fine, and to give those reviews. Again, those are available. They know that that's available to them in a physical copy, audiobook copy if we need to get it, or if they already have it. All of those are fine, and we can help walk them through that as well. They have independent project time throughout the week. That can be something that's literally on their side. That's fun. The mystery dinner that they're putting on was what a group of them decided to collaborate on the project, and that was fine too. It's also some of people are working on their individual businesses during that time. That's great too. Again, we are there as helpers, guides, mentors. Just want to make sure that you know too, and ask your launchpadders. If you're hearing some things for the first time, ask them to watch this video and give you feedback and say if there's anything that what I'm saying is incorrect. But I don't think any of them will deny that if they have ever asked for, and there's quite a few that ask way more than others, but if they've ever asked for a meeting, whether that's with Krista and I, whether that's one-on-one with just Krista or just myself, to go through any of these things that they are going on, any one of these parts, we are there. We schedule a time with them and we go through that with them. We are wildly and readily available for them to take advantage of that. So that's the independent projects. Obviously internships and apprenticeships. Again, if I was a launchpadder, that would be probably my junior and senior year. As soon as I could get into a car, that is almost solely what I would focus on. I would take the first couple years and knock out as many of these classes, obviously the projects, as I could. Junior and senior year, I would continue with those projects and the creation of those experiences, but then I would also look at our apprenticeship badge, our apprenticeship quest alone is 100 pages worth of material. 100 pages, because it's a very intense process, but it's a process designed to get you in front of and give you a chance to take on a real apprenticeship or an internship. Internship's usually a shorter amount of time. You're kind of learning. It's not always a paid thing by any stretch of the imagination, and you're kind of learning as you go sort of deal. Apprenticeship, you're usually jumping right in. A lot of times it's paid. You're providing direct value to the organization, and oftentimes results in a job offer after that. So we've got those badges. I would really try to see if I could figure out a way to get 6 or 7 apprenticeships over the course of my junior and senior year, and go through that whole process of the apprenticeship quest for every single one of those. That would be my recommendation. Obviously, there's the jobs on campus too, which is obvious benefit there, both to the students, to all the rest of the students, and then to the campus in general. And then the end of the day, we have our end of the day meeting. Excuse me. End of the day meeting call outs. And that is literally just the time where they are getting together and are supposed to be rewiring their brain for positivity, looking for the positive ways to call each other out and say, look, I saw you persevere through this. I saw you handle this. This was amazing the way you did this. Thank you for your help in this. It is rewiring their brain to see the positivity rather than the negativity. And again, that in and of itself for some students has been a struggle. It has been something that some students have said, well, I just don't want to. It feels forced. And in a way, it is. We're requesting people do that, but hopefully what we're requesting, forcing you to see the good in other people and let them know, we don't see that as something that's necessarily a bad thing. So that is the quick-ish, almost 10 minutes version of these are all of the things that are happening throughout the week and that they have the ability to take advantage of. So parents, if I was a Launchpadder, I kind of showed you how I would tackle it. If I was a Launchpad parent, really I would support my launchpadder and say, hey, which one of these places, what 2, 3, 4 of these places are you not fully taking advantage of? And how can we get you to take advantage of it? What can we do to give you more support so that you have more support in taking advantage of this? Because we'd like you to take advantage of those opportunities. That's the way I would tackle it if I was a launchpad parent. And again, if you're going, oh, I'm just hearing some of this for the first time, or well, this isn't exactly how things have come home, then I would encourage you to show your launchpadder this video here and let me know if there's anything that they find that's not the case. I kind of think that they could walk you through and go, yep, all of those opportunities are there, available, discussed ad nauseum, and then encourage them to just take those on. So thank you guys. We're gonna work all through this virtual stuff too, and we'll get it all figured out. So I appreciate you, and we will talk to you guys more here in the coming week. Enjoy the weekend.